has a topic relevant to the time of year. Flowers are blooming, the birds and the bees are flying and buzzing around. Have you ever wondered where that little pot of honey that's on your breakfast table comes from? Steve Olson is going to explain the whole process to us tonight, what it takes to make 16 ounces of honey. The buzz of spring, Steve Olson.
What do you think when you drive down the roads this time of year and maybe you see a truck full of white boxes? You drive by an orchard and you see white boxes sitting throughout the orchard. Or you happen to have a neighbor that maybe has some hives in their yard. I always get excited at spring with the buzz of the bees. I have a cherry orchard and you walk in the orchard and all you hear is the bees working. It's a beautiful sound. But when we look at what's going on with the bees, and we talk about 16 ounces of honey. How do they get 16 ounces? How do they get a pound of honey? I mean, they do many more than 1 pound, but we look at all the things that it takes the bee to do that. Number one, they have to be somewhere that's warm, and they can be free to go out and start to collect pollen and the nectar that eventually is turned into honey. They've been doing this for 10 to 20 million years. They're really good at it. But they also are having a lot of difficulties with our environment today. We're losing, on average, about 47, this year, 2015, 47% of the hives were lost in the United States. 47%. That's an amazing fact. That, how do you have if you were a cattle rancher and lost 47% of your herd, I don't think you'd be a cattle rancher for very long. But it's a synergistic effect that's happening throughout the country. I don't think anyone can say the reason is colony loss. The reason is the varroa mite. It's a mite that has infested the bees for the last couple decades, and that's definitely made a big difference in what's happening to the bees. They spread virus and different things, and it affects the quality and the ability to protect themselves. They tend to die off from viruses and those kinds of things. Honey, though, is the byproduct of our beautiful bees, the amber honey that we get at the end of every season. And for them to get to 16 ounces of honey, they visit 2 million flowers. One bee, 2 million, to create that pound of honey. One bee generates 1/12 of a tablespoon of honey in its lifetime. That's not very much. 1/12. I don't even know what that would break down to, a drop. If a bee was going to fly around the world, it would take them 1 ounce of honey to have the energy to fly around the world. So 1 ounce, a bee could fly around the entire world. Their wings beat at over 200 beats a minute, or a second, 12,000 beats a minute. That's very fast, and that's where the buzz of the bee comes from, the quick movement of their wings. To go out and collect the honey, they need comb to put it in. It takes 8 pounds of honey to generate 1 pound of wax, which is what they build their comb out of. So you start thinking, well, 8 pounds of honey for 1 pound of wax, it takes a lot of honey to keep a hive going throughout the year, and that's all they're working on throughout the whole spring, summer. Then we go into the dirt of no flowers to collect pollen and honey from, and they've had to have stored enough to make it through to the next spring. I always look forward to that time, because when we get into the late summer, is harvest time. So we get to go into the hives and take what they have extra, and we get to harvest that honey and take it from them. But we always have to be really cautious that we don't take more than what they need to winter. Honeybees don't hibernate. They keep that hive at about 96 degrees, but they're in a cluster, so they're all really tightly held together, and their wings, they can disjoint their wings, but they can shiver, basically, instead of flapping their wings. They're shivering, generating heat for the hive, and keeps the hive alive. That's where the hardest part of beekeeping is getting your bees through the winter. All the beekeepers and new beekeepers that come to our club meetings and things like that, I always tell them, it doesn't matter what bee you have, as long as you get it through the winter. That's really the point that is so important, because you come out of the winter with a hive that's so much farther along than starting with a fresh hive that has no comb, or comb is gold in the beekeeping world. If you have comb, you can do anything with your bees and that. But I got interested in this many years ago. I mean, as long as I've owned cherry orchards, we've always had bees every spring, but we've always rented them. And we're doing an organic orchard, and the whole point of the beekeeping that I'm doing is to be completely self-sufficient on our organic cherries, where our bees pollinate our cherries, well, and the neighbors. They love it. They call, great, you're getting all these bees, this is great. You're saving me bringing in hives of bees. So they enjoy that, but the best part of the whole thing is the honey that I yearn for every fall when we go into the honey house and start to extract it and bottle it. But thank you.